So you're in a maze, and in a beautiful maze full of lovely flowers and plants and trees, mirrors, all beautiful things around you. But you're in a maze and you're trying to find your way out. It is long and laborious. You're enjoying the process because everything is beautiful around you, but you still are not able to find that exit route. And that's getting to you. It's frustrating. It's making you a little angry and anxious, but you're still enjoying it because everything around you is so beautiful. That, in short, is the essence of the feeling you get when you read the book The Wind Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. Welcome to the book review. I am Dhanya Verma. I'm a talk show host and a TV presenter based out of Kochi, Kerala. So here's a review of the book The Wind Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. Well, how did this book land up in my house? I have no clue. I think it was left behind by one of the guests who had come visiting and had forgotten to take it with her. I am presuming that it's a her. This book is very addressing. It has kind of played hide and seek with me for the past 3-4 years. So I chanced upon this book, I picked it up and I started reading. I read about 200-300 pages of this book and I left it behind. I said, I somehow can't manage to finish this book, so let me keep it for another day. Maybe during vacations, maybe while I'm traveling, I will take this book along and I'll finish it. But that day never came. It kept lying around, gathering dust in my cupboard. In between, a Norwegian Wood came my way, and that is also written by Haruki Murakami. I love the book. And it is a romance, and it's a beautiful book. I loved it. So after Norwegian Wood, when the lockdown happened and I started going through my cupboards and had decided that I'll finish a book that I have not yet finished. And I saw this book lying on the shelf and I picked it up, and it was a Haruki Murakami. Yes, I thought Norwegian Wood was such a wonderful book. I should read this as well and finish it. So I decided to finish this book, which had started perhaps 3 or 4 years ago. Basically, the book was published in 1994-95, and it was translated by a person called Jay Robbins. The author, Haruki, writes in Japanese and has been translated to several languages across the world. I believe it's been translated to 45 languages. This book is part mystery, part romance, a part of everything, I guess. When you read the book, you don't know where. It's like being in a dream. You don't know where reality ends and the dream starts, and where the dream ends and reality starts. It's just a mixture of so many worlds that come in and go, that you kind of forget where exactly the characters are in the real world or in the surreal world that they have created for themselves. I think the most interesting part of the books, and I believe in all books, are the characters. And the funny thing is, it's Japanese, so the names are all very complicated. You need to kind of remind yourself to remember the names of the characters, and like Toru Okada, Mei Kasahara, Kumiko, Krita Kano, Malta Kano. All these names sound so far removed from the names that you hear around you. It's a labor to remember all these names. But the characters are so interesting. They are so different from you and me. They exist in an alternate reality. So that's what the beauty of the characters is. The main character, the main protagonist, is nothing like a hero. You could call him a loser in the truest sense of the term. He's not ambitious. He's very laid back, lazy. But he's a good man. And contradicting this character is the main villain, which is Noboru Wataya. Noboru Wataya is actually a person who, in our way of the world, would be the ideal guy who is ambitious and who is well read and who articulates well. All those things go into Noboru Wataya, and he kind of juxtaposes both these characters against each other. So, but my favorite character is Mei Kasahara, simply for the reason that's a young girl, maybe in her teens, 16, 17. She's full of hope. She's very vibrant. The way she talks about her wig factory, I think that was the most endearing part of it all. She's got pain, but she's yet resilient. She's a fighter. I loved her because she's one of those characters who symbolizes strength and resilience in a world which is basically falling apart. So I guess that is why I liked Mei Kasahara. There are so many metaphors, meanings, and layers to all the characters that he has created. The way he has pitted one character against the other, Boris and Lieutenant Mamiya, for instance. Boris standing for evil and Lieutenant Mamiya standing for the good. And you also see things that are beyond their physical representation. For instance, the well. The well stood for me as a place where you have to dig deeper to find solutions to your life. You read the book, you understand what I'm talking about. When he talks about the well, I don't see it as a physical entity, as more as a thing where he was going deep into his subconscious to find out answers that he was seeking for himself. The same appears with the cat to me. When the cat disappears, that kind of stands for his marital bliss disappearing, or the harmony that existed in his marriage disappearing. Similarly, when he hears the screeching of the winder bird, we immediately know that something is in store for him. Some dramatic shift is going to happen, something is going to drastically change. And the winder bird stands for something which is like a bad omen. So all these elements that come and go in this book, they stand for something which is bigger than their physical manifestation. They stand for the larger picture or a larger meaning. And that is up to you to figure out what it stands for. So that's the beauty of this book. So you're just reading it at one layer, and there's another deeper layer attached to it, which you've got to interpret it yourself. The author doesn't help you there. So if you're a Haruki Murakami fan, so please go for this book. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But if you have not read a Haruki Murakami yet, then this is not probably the first book you should read. I would recommend Norwegian Wood to you. I also believe Kafka on the Shore is a great book to start with. A lot of people have been recommending that book to me. So you could try out Kafka on the Shore too. This book is long, this book is slow, and if you're somebody who enjoys slow reading and taking your time while reading it, I can still recommend this book. But if you are a person who's looking for clear outcomes, a clear outline, a clear narration, well, this is not, because you kind of get lost in the maze many a times and you wonder what the hell are you doing with this book. So this is for those seasoned Haruki Murakami readers. I would not recommend this book for everyone. But yet, it is an enjoyable read. Such is the magic of Haruki Murakami, I think. If you like the content that I have put out, please do subscribe to my channel and do share the video with your friends and family. And do remember to press the bell notification, because that's what's going to give you the next update when the next video is going to be out. Thanks for watching, and I hope you take care of yourself.